had secured Dr. Eggman in cyberspace to protect him from the impending destruction. I had hoped to keep out external variables as well. You were not meant to come here.
Yeah, I figured that out. I understand now why you locked my friends in the cyber cages and fought me. I wasn't exactly going to leave the Titans alone either. It's too late for an I'm sorry from either of us. Better to focus on making things right. Yo, so did cyberspace actually interact with my brain?
It was designed to catalog neural networks, among other things. So yes.
Alright, hear me out. Do you think all those locations I visited were pulled from my memories?
That is plausible. It imported the data of your memories and applied it to your surroundings, so you could comprehend them.
Maybe that gave me the edge I needed to escape each time. I was covering familiar ground. Go me! It looks like Tails was right. The ruins were tech the ancients used to upload thoughts into cyberspace, but not their bodies.
Correct. They desired to archive all their achievements, creations, and knowledge.
If they couldn't pass it between their own people, they could pass it on to those who inherited this world from them.
This way, they could pass on not only technical knowledge, but their cognizance and intentions as well.
So it's basically a big old backup hard drive for everything about them. That's pretty amazing. If I understood those visions correctly, the ancients came from space, right? And they were wearing things that looked like the Coco, but they didn't seem, I don't know, alive. Do you know what the Coco really are?
They originated as lucky charms for the ancients. They were never designed to contain their data, their wills.
Yeah, but the Coco I've found do hold the memories of their creators. Maybe the ancients changed them, or maybe the Coco wanted to keep their memories alive after they were gone. I'm so used to using the Chaos Emeralds, it's kind of hard to accept they're from space.
Yes, they were central to the ancients' power and native to their world. They are the only things that can awaken all the functions on the island, and were taken away with the last survivors to another land.
Without the Emerald's power, the island's functions eventually shut down.
That is why I drew them here. I hope to use the ancients' technology to stop the emergence of their old foe. Once the ancients landed on this world, they cultivated the islands to be their new home. This place in particular was meant for prayer and reflection. They hoped to live in peace. When they learned their enemy had followed them here, they prepared to defend this world. The walls, cannons, towers, all for a desperate last stand.
That explains all the stuff I've seen on the run. I wondered if they were preparing for a fight. Now I know.
This is where the ancients would gather to simply be together, to cherish those who were left. That is why they recorded everything. Their history, their aspirations, their hopes, their dreams. So they would never be truly gone.
So, we've got satellite maps today, but I don't think they can compete with direct brain downloads. I can roll with it now that I know it's alien tech, but it's still a bit weird to me. Like, why are the villages missing when everything else is so detailed?
The ancients had a difficult time adapting to this world, adjusting to the new flora and fauna, dealing with technological incompatibilities. Their settlements were under constant revision. The map was designed for a universal knowledge of the islands and their facilities.
I guess that makes sense. And it's probably a good idea to limit the info to make sure whoever can access it can be trusted first.
The ancients came to this world tens of thousands of years ago. The planet was still underdeveloped back then, and their technology was vastly superior to anything else at the time.
I knew it felt different at the time, but the fact that it was really alien was surprising. The floating building, giant structures, cyberspace. It didn't make sense that such advanced stuff was also super old. But it all came from space, so, well, there you go, I guess.
What would this world look like if the ancients had survived, I wonder? Under different circumstances, I would enjoy running the simulations.
Alrighty. This is the final part of Sonic Frontiers. Attempt number 2, because we had issues again. Didn't record Sith or Blue at all. It recorded the game audio instead, so that was useless. I'm just gonna knock this out of the way. Got a new computer set up, everything too. I don't know if Blue doesn't know yet, but I got a brand new computer.
Very good. Very nice.
So, as I mentioned, the Sith, when we did a test, could eventually do PO6.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I just gotta do this again before we get to Unleash. I'll just skip all of these.
One more. I gotta hurry up.
Sonic!
I know. You're not fast enough, so I found it for you. Go ahead and beat that giant. Don't you dare lose it.
Now why would I want to disappoint you?
Does it feel like the purple one is like always one of the last ones they get?
You know, yeah, that's true because I remember playing in Shadow the Hedgehog, like final haunt anyway. Shadow gets the purple one.
You're playing that right now, H. Did you finish that?
Not yet, no. I'm close though.
But I have finished Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, yeah, Blue here has.
Honestly, I feel very nostalgic of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
That was the first time playing it, but I felt very nostalgic of Sonic games back then because I think they had like a bit of a different aura of how characters were done. Sonic nowadays is just Sonic and Friends. Back then, they all had some sort of individual personality to them. Like, you know, when you just look at Knuckles, you know, Knuckles was all about Master Emerald. Tails was like a Riz kid, but at the same time, like, he was trying to help out Sonic to stop Eggman. Amy was fantasized about Sonic a lot, but, you know, she had a, you know, individuality around it. But yeah, it was like a different time when characters were there. So that's why I felt very nostalgic with playing Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, you could say the characters changed a lot over time. I don't know if it's fair to say they have evolved because it feels like each Sonic game has like its own interpretation of Sonic. Like if you look at
about the interpretation for like newer Sonic games, or you just saying in general?
yeah, in general, like if you look at colors, right, and then look at this, it's two different Sonics. Like,
I see.
he is more mature in this one, and in colors, not to say that he isn't mature, but you know, it's definitely more lighthearted.
Yeah. But I think the maturity in this game is just context by what's going on in the story. It's just that they want you to sit down and listen to them babble about what the story events is. So Sonic can't just be like all jokey around when he's trying to allow people to learn more about the lore of the story here in this game. As opposed to Colors, is that you don't even need to learn anything about the lore of the story. It's just about, you know, stopping Eggman.
Yeah, it's more straightforward.
Yeah. So, you know, despite that everyone wanted like more of a deeper story or something that's not just about this simplistic as Eggman, it's still, I feel as though, missing the way how characters were done back in the mid 2000s, I'd say. And who knows, like, in the future, if they've gotten all these characters back from just bringing them into the lore, maybe they can somehow get them involved into a universe whereby each of them have their individual personalities.
So you would say in this game it's lacking that a lot.
Yeah, it's lacking that. Like when you because you know, we being through these parts and whatnot, I feel like I've just seen mainly Sonic on the screen. Like even though there's Amy, Knuckles, and Tails and whatnot, I don't know. They just feel like just cameos every time they talk. Like when you just go into Shadow the Hedgehog cutscenes, it feels like wow, I can distinguish that. And I hate to admit, like even though Charmy's so annoying in that game, like I can distinguish Charmy's like individual character from the franchise by just seeing how Charmy interacts with Shadow, as opposed to how Charmy interacts with Espio and Vector in the cutscenes.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's true. There's more personality in that game compared to this one.
Yeah.
So it just looks like a series of events are happening here, but you don't really see like any of the characters' own emotions really fleshed out in this game.
Yeah. It's just more so that they wanted to have a game. I kind of call this game kind of like Metroid, for example, whereby a lot of it is just scanning through, you're seeking new information and whatnot. To learn more around it, rather than just being like a Sonic game and it presents you the information when the cutscenes happen or with the characters displayed and having a word and whatnot.
Yeah. I see. Well, perhaps we might see some character development with Shadow in Sonic X Shadow Generations. I don't know if you saw that short.
Sure. I don't think I have seen the show. I think I've only just seen the trailers. That's about it.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's like an anime short, which I think they're
A
going to
PlayStation exclusive short for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Sony's got the money. Like Microsoft would never sign a deal like that. It's only Sony will do something like that.
Interesting.
All we did was chase it out of its shell. It's retreating into space to regain its true form. Even Supersonic won't be able to stop it. I know what I must do. I must leave you.
So, of all the characters here, she has more personality than everyone.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Yeah.
You, it's either if you don't like Sonic
Both, bro.
in this game, you go for Sage.
Yeah.
That's it. It's either one or the two.
It seems like this whole game was really staged, even though you're playing as Sonic.
Before it regains its full
Yeah.
strength.
Ladies first.
Because it feels kind of like Sonic Unleashed as well in a way, because I'm not trying to say that the other characters didn't have so much of a big role, but you can clearly see the establishment between Sonic and Chip so greatly that Chip was way better than Tails in that game,
Yeah.
for example. Yeah, like you go into Shadow the Hedgehog, for example, you would never say that Tails didn't have a worse role than the other characters in the game. Like, I feel like Tails is equal to Sonic, or Tails is equal to Rouge, or all these other characters, because they made it fleshed out for all these characters to have them in our personalities. But then those later games, like I said, Unleashed, it was just like, okay, Chip, Sonic, and then everyone else. And that's how it is for this game as well. Sonic, Sage, then everyone else.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. How they feel like cameos, really.
Right. But yeah, I was also finishing up with Nier Automata as well.
Oh, okay.
A couple of weeks ago, and I said when I was playing this game, I was like, man, Sonic Frontiers has so much of these ideas, because this is exactly the same thing that happened in Nier Automata as well.
Yeah.
This final boss.
End credits.
Yeah,
mini games.
Yeah, the credits is a joke around it, but yeah, there's a lot of mini games around it. These mechanics as well, whereby you're just shooting around, and it's just like it, strangely enough.
Is this like a popular genre? This kind of gameplay here?
No, not really.
Not really. I mean,
In
the fact
Japan
that
it would be, but
in Japan. Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, not in the rest. No. So yeah, this was just done, and it just reminded me of Nier Automata, like when I was playing it.
Yeah. Because Nier Automata. Is that a Japanese game or is that a Korean game?
Japanese.
Japanese. Okay. So. Yeah, I'm thinking that. I guess in Japan this is a very popular genre.
Yeah. They still make games for their market around to it, and then there may be some localization over in the West.
Yeah.
58 Captain.
And I think because at least here in the West, like the best we've got, at least in the past, was something called Galaga, like in the 80s. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, you get like Galaga, you have Space Invaders.
Space Invaders. Yep.
Those games back then,
There's a shoot 'em up game I played on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it.
But because games have become so narrative, you wouldn't see yourself to play games like this.
No.
Because it's more focused on the gameplay. Because you can't really, I don't know who this end is. I still don't even know when we actually did this as well. I just hear like a talking globe thing that's going on. Like, how can anyone pay attention to whatever this end thing is saying while all these little balls are on the screen right here?
Yeah, and then the music playing on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot to focus in on. Like, you pretty much would have to be an observer to really listen in.
Yeah. I guess this is, I'm guessing the end is supposed to be some total line of defense for these ancient tie-ins.
That's
Yes.
what destroyed them.
Actually, no, excuse me. So, this thing here is not part of the Titans. The Titans are their own thing made by those chaos-looking individuals.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing is like, just think of it as the Time Eater. I mean, even though he's not the Time Eater, but like he will just erase everything out of existence, whatever this is.
Pretty much like Solaris, really.
Yeah.
So this thing only made an appearance right at the end. Nothing else. Yeah. And this was the same voice as the announcer as well, isn't it?
In the beginning, yes. Yeah.
That's what was talking to Sonic and using him to release it. Because he's fast enough to break through subspace. Just like how he's fast enough to reset time and generations.
You are not brave. You are not victorious.
Yeah, I love how people always make the discussion around, like, Sonic characters to be pretty much similar speed or same speed as Sonic. You go into the 2D games as well, but then this game kind of clarifies is that you guys can't beat Sonic Space to actually get out of cyberspace.
No. I would like to say perhaps Shadow could, but
Yeah, but Shadow isn't even in this game.
yeah, that's the thing. He's not even here.
The end comes for you all.
Half this fight is just scripted. It's like I'm not doing nothing to it right now.
Yeah.
I feel as though one thing that this game does above all else well is just these cinematic supersonic events. I think that that's like one of the strongest points that people will come back to saying about Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, all the scenes here, that kind of Dragon Ball vibes for me.
Yeah.
Why does he just go hypersonic?
That'd be the day. We haven't
Even
seen
so, like hypersonic and Sonic 3 Knuckles, it still doesn't even feel as though he needed to go hypersonic as opposed to supersonic, because supersonic, I think, could have even defeated Eggman robots back then in that form.
Yeah, hypersonic is just like there for when you something new when you attach it to Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah. It was just like, hey, we got these super emeralds, now you can turn hypersonic and even make yourself way more invincible. Because if hypersonic had the theory whereby you're in Doomsday Zone and you're infinitely flying into space without collecting rings, I can dig that, but it still had the same properties as supersonic. Once you lose those rings, you're just back to normal Sonic.
Please. Look after.
And this is hyper form you're talking about, or
Yeah.
super.
Yeah, hyperform. So like, you know,
Hyper,
hyperform,
okay.
you go into Doomsday, you can just pretty much fly around and you still lose your rings in space. The same way as how supersonic is.
I see. So it's like, was it even needed?
Yeah, it wasn't really needed, yeah.
Okay. It's still a cool form though.
Yeah.
He was easier to control than Supersonic, that's for sure.
Yes!
All right.
We'll have to pay attention when we start Unleashed if the purple cast was the last one he restores.
It might be.
It's like the green one's always the first one, and I guess purple's the last. Because I was thinking back if Sonic was 6. It's like, it's the purple one that Methless has at the end.
Yes, he's carrying that one. Empathetic Eggman over here. Reaching out to the sky in sadness.
I did look up gameplay for, Shadow Generations, and I think I might get it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's clearly built in Frontier's engine,
Yeah. It looks
which would
spectacular.
be Hedgehog Engine 2.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say as
There's also
well, with the ending here, is the extra DLC. Because I've been told that the DLC ending has something extra built into this normal ending of what happens here. Something to do with a certain character, Sage.
Sage. Okay.
Okay,
I-
skip the credits.
I wouldn't be able to confirm because I haven't completed the DLC.
Yeah, because it's the one with the DLC whereby you have to defeat the bosses, the Titans, in really hard mode, I believe. Like, you have to beat them in the hardest difficulty. Maybe you can just defeat them just in a normal, easy difficulty. And then it connects to this ending here. Because, with this ending with Sage, it's questionable if she survives or not. But then in that DLC, it actually verifies she's actually saved. She's actually still alive.
Yeah, so in the base game, if you watch roll the credits, right, there's one more scene where it looks like Eggman's rebooting her.
Yeah.
I think we did see that beforehand when we attempted this Let's Play, yeah.
Oh, so basically, regardless if you have the DLC or not, you still see that cutscene.
I don't know if they're different though, so that's the only thing I can't confirm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a source from a guy that said it, but this guy that had the source, I feel as though that the guy that said that had the source believed that Nintendo bought Sega. So I can't really agree with his logic at times. So I don't know. That's why I thought you guys may have known about the DLC if there is a difference.
Nah, that's a shame. I should have dived into it a bit further, but it was a bit difficult to get past some of the stages within the DLC,
Right.
so I just gave up.
Yeah.
But I guess we can all confirm that Nintendo does not own Sega
Yeah,
at this
exactly.
point in time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some people are in their own Cloud 9 space, when they make,
Yeah,
stuff like that, so I can't really say anything.
Mm-hmm. Very misinformed.
Yeah. But now that the question stands, though, is that these characters are all good and stuff, like Sage. Like, is Sage gonna be in the next game, or they're just gonna throw away just like how they did with Chip and with everyone else?
Toss her
So
aside like they did Infinite.
Yeah.
I want to say yes that they'll have her back. I mean, they did bring Qbot and the other robot. Forgot his name, but they brought him back for what? Colors, Ultimate, and I think Forces even. So it's possible that Sage comes back.
Mhm.
And then his whole direction with Eggman becoming more empathetic, like that could also be explored in the later games.
I think Eggman was just empathetic because he just knew that he was not the boss in this game and he already lost. Like, we've seen the empathetic side of Eggman in every other Sonic game beforehand. When
True,
he's
true.
not the final boss. So, like, in Sonic Adventure 2, I'd say Sonic Adventure 2 is the earliest one whereby you hear more of the empathetic side of him in the ending part.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on as well, there's some empathy at times as well when it is given. But I guess the most empathetic Eggman, I guess, is in this game because there's just so much cutscenes around to it.
Yeah.
So, that was fun. But I guess it's time we got moving. I know you all have big plans.
You're gonna hardly recognize me when we see each other again.
I wonder if cream and sticks are free. Make a road trip out of it.
It'll be good to get back to my island. At least for a while.
We're wasting daylight. Let's go.
I wonder. I mean, does Knuckles ever get bored at that island?
What, for the Master
Emerald? Yeah, like does he
Wait,
get
did
bored?
he actually talk about it here? Or did,
He might have.
I don't think he, cause like it sounded like he was just gonna go on an adventure himself, but I don't think he ever talks about it, Master Emerald anymore.
Yeah, like I know he's like the whole protector and all that, but I just question like, would he ever get bored of doing that? Just step outside, for a bit.
I mean, I see your point there, but I feel as though it's kind of like easily just referencing just the original Sonic Adventure that it's just a obligation, and being an echidna himself, it was just his noble duty, and he didn't see it as like, oh, he has fun doing it or he's bored doing it or anything like that. He was just very just okay with it. He was acceptable around it by just being there the whole time protecting it.
So he's
He
a
didn't
very,
very what?
dedicated echidna.
Yeah, dedicated. Yeah. Like he showed a dedication to do it. It wasn't about like having fun or anything. I think that is what like led his character personality different. Like they pushed that away. And, like this guy needs to be friends of Sonic and rival to everyone. No, the guy was chilling out and he preferred it that way. There was nothing around it. It's like the same thing as Big the Cat. The guy just likes to fish. Like, you don't need to push him out in Sonic Heroes with like underage girls and whatnot. It's like the guy's okay.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. It's like that's
Yeah.
what they do. Like they just change the original concept of these characters. They're all good. Nothing needs to be changed there.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with the big part you mentioned.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Sonic Frontiers. Was the guy's name like Koimoto Mori? I forgot what the original owner of the game that does it. He did. What's it called? Like Sonic Forces, right? Sonic Forces, Sonic Colors, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I believe he's going to be part of the next game when they do make that, or if they're already in development for that game already.
Yeah, I wonder if they are. Like, Sonic X Shadow Generations, it's like I guess you could call it filler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a remaster with new content. And from what
Yeah.
you guys have said as well, the Shadow part is Hedgehog Engine 2. I thought it was just going to be Generations gameplay, but with Shadow involved, so there's going to be something different now to see from that.
Yeah, I'm actually amazed at the fact that this game is using both Hedgehog Engine 1 and 2. Sonic X Shadow Generations, that is.
Yeah.
Because originally I was thinking that Shadow's gameplay would play out like Sonic's in a sense. So, but in this case, he's not necessarily a Sonic clone.
Yeah. He's got his chaos abilities, so he can zip array and defeat all the enemies very quicker than Sonic.
Yeah. So
Yeah, a mechanic that's not shown in any of the gameplay they've showed off is apparently you can activate his chaos control and find hidden paths and levels.
Yeah.
I did see there was a fourth character hidden in the game. So
People are assuming it's Emerald.
yeah, I think it's Emerald also.
Emerald from Sonic Battle.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it kind of makes sense
Every
anyway.
Sonic game is every Sonic game is connected, so they're actually putting a little bit of effort trying to connect them together. That animated short shows Emerald on the Ark because
Yeah.
you know his Professor Gerald's journals and You Unlock in Sonic Battle revealed that he was on the Ark there too.
Okay.
My understanding of Emerald, though, Robotnik didn't create him. Something else did.
So pretty
I'm
much.
sure they're gonna
yeah.
tie it to the ancients.
Hmm.
Oh, that's his name, Morio Kishimoto. That is your new Lord and Savior.
We'll see how he does. And so this concludes Sonic Frontiers. And they say here, we dedicate this game to all players who supported us. Thank you for playing.
Yes, but the real question is now is that you finish off Sonic. Oh, there's more. I forgot about this. Yeah, there's more
yeah.
cutscenes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the one I was referring to because Sage comes back, but I don't know if there's like an extended actual cutscene of seeing extra from the actual DLC.
Yeah.
Father?
That's my girl.
Father Eggman. Okay.
Who the hell is the fourth great civilization? Bum, bum.
But yeah, I was just gonna say, you complete Sonic Frontiers, you see New Game Plus and all these other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is it dying for people to come back into this game again and relive this?
Well, from my experience, I have not. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I had to reinstall this to redo this Let's Play, so no, I definitely probably gonna delete it again after we're done.
Okay. Delete it when you're done. Put in Sonic Spinball and give that a whirl again.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of replayability in Sonic Spinball,
Yeah, this game's replay
especially
value.
for people who haven't beaten it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't compare to Adventure 2's replay value. Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I remember you saying to me at one point, Blue, how you would just pop Adventure 2 in and just play that, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it has individual stages. Whereas this one, um, the only individual stages you have really is the cyberspace stages. But that's if you want to like challenge yourself into getting faster times.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because it really just comes down to whereby what do you enjoy and can you go back to it after finishing it? You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, it's a great game. Adding the combat to Sonic was a very interesting and unique experience. I would love to see this gameplay return, if you ask me.
All right.
Hmm.
Well, I think we said we beat this twice. I think it's time to end this finally.
Yay! It's over.
Alright, thanks for watching.